Okay, Lula, nice to
Hello.
meet you. It's a pleasure for us to have you for the seventh edition of the festival. But can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm Lula Goce. I'm from Spain, and in the last years, I have been working in the streets as an artist, doing these big, huge interventions. So you can consider me a street artist.
Can you explain us what is the mural? What is the purpose of the mural you just done?
The first things that I do when someone is contacting me to paint a mural is to ask for the more information, the more possible information about the place, like and to take pictures about the location and the population or the activities that develop here. So when I saw the landscape, because this is an area with an incredible landscape and the format of the wall, I thought that I didn't want it to break the harmony of the place, so and the poetry of the environment. So I took this old treasure that is Ophelia from
Okay.
the Shakespeare how you say obra.
Mhm.
So this idea that she is lying, in the water, surrounded by nature, and as the part of the windows are blue, so it gives me this idea about the water and just do something beautiful, and at the same thing is a kind of tragic because the nature is beautiful, but it's also heavy or aggressive at some point. This kind of controversy between the beauty and the animals or the nature or
The
the
power of nature.
stronger, yeah,
Yeah.
the stronger of the nature.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's something we're gonna figure out soon with the climate change. The
yeah,
nature
for
showing
sure.
us more and more that she
Yeah.
can be aggressive also, and she can defend herself.
Yeah, for sure. We need to take conscience about that because we are not doing it well. So we need to change our way of life, maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe no, absolutely. I mean, otherwise the world will change us.
And you are participating in the near future in this kind of project, no, with a big international organization. Can you let us know about
Yes.
that?
Yes, I'm just going to paint in Belgium with a project with street art making and United Nations, and this project is about the environment. So because they made a cumbre, I mean like a meeting in Brussels with all the main caps of the countries to discuss. As important is to take measures about. So this wall is like working on that side to make conscious about the environment and about how we must to take care of that and the animals and to keep their places. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's
it's
it.
so. But on the side of the purpose is everybody's talking about that now and try to raise consciousness uh, to make people understand what's going on. But how did they choose you? How did they approach you? Why they choose you? This
I have been working with street art monkeying in another project in New Rochelle. So they are an ONG who was they are working for the rights of the kids,
okay?
basically. So they do murals all around the world, all around USA, the most of the time. So they work several times with the United Nations. So they try to introduce me, and I think that as I work usually with nature and in my discourse there is always this feeling that we must to be in contact with the nature, with our
Okay.
own nature, because we are lost in that we are animals and we need the environment.
That's cool. I mean, that's a nice story, interesting because it's interesting also for everybody to understand how a street artist can suddenly become a more not street art anymore. You're becoming an artist.
Mhm.
Now those days, especially here during the festival, it's a street art festival. So we are claiming that we invite street artists, but at the end, in 50 years of time, you will leave artworks,
Yeah.
whatever that have been done in the street or for a museum or on canvases.
Yeah.
You're an artist. So now the change is coming. I don't know.
Yeah.
There is more and more space for artists coming from the street art, and now those artists coming from the street art are presented like artists.
Yeah, because I think that sometimes we mix the graffiti and the street art and the urban art, and so I mean the urban art, under my point of view, is that you are working with the space, so it's a kind of urbanistic intervention that you are doing. So you are an artist and you need to do a discourse, but you are putting that on one specific place. So for me, to take on account the people who is going to coming every day here and to see this, and they must to convive and to establish a dialogue, with the mural. So that is going to change their lives.
So, and when you say that you take a lot of consideration about the environment where the mural is, that refer directly with what you study. Can you tell us a little bit about your artistic life? Or
Yeah, sure. I mean, I always paint since I were a child, but after the high school, I moved to Salamanca to study fine arts. I were licenciated on painting, but I always did projects outside. So I was like to
you can say in Spanish, no?
intervenir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
intervention.
Yeah, intervenir the spaces. So I think that this is interest of working with the environment always were there. So after that, I moved to Barcelona to make my PhD and a master in contemporary art. And my thesis always worked about the intervention of the spaces and to remove the movable supports. I mean, to left the canvas and do it just directly on the wall. So it's not something that you can keep with you to your home.
Yes,
Actually, people do that sometimes, but I mean, it's
that's
not the
bad.
idea, yeah, as the Banksy
Yeah.
And I also like the second lecture and the second artwork, that is the digital part. I mean, because you are always watching this. When you come here and you see this huge wall, it's like this is evolving you. But the most of the people is watching this huge wall in a small screen. So that's a kind of amazing, because you are playing with the scale. So it's like all in your mind about the
The
scale. Or
scale,
when
yeah.
you are saying that, you are imagining that you are there, but you are not. And at the end, this changes a lot.
Yeah, that's why people have to come and see.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely,
always like that.
absolutely d'accord.
It's absolutely d'accord. I like that. And another question about you're a girl, obviously. So what's about you notice that there is not that many female artists
Yeah.
in the street art milieu. Uh,
Mhm.
do you think it's changing? It's evolving? There is more and more? What? How do you?
I mean, there is no few artists, street artists. There are some. Obviously, we are less than males, but I think that it's growing. Sometimes people ask, but you are famous, so you always paint women, and that's not true, because I paint kids and kids and guys. But it's true that from my point of view, I am a woman, so it's easy to speak from my point of view. than from a male point of view. And the other point is that some people ask also if I'm a feminist. So I mean, I am a woman, so I think I am obviously. Otherwise, I will be crazy. But I'm not speaking about feminists in my canvas or in my
Work.
interventions. Use that for me the feminist thing is to do what I do. I mean, to be there, to driving a leaf, painting a wall. So that's the point, that I love do that, so I do. And I think that when people are walking and watching me painting, is like, look, mom, she's a woman, and that's the things that change the world.
That
That
that's
they,
great, and that's
yeah,
cool. You're providing a good example.
yeah, so they can take a reference and they can think that, oh, maybe I could do the same, or
That's what we are pushing at Space Junk, trying to make the kids,
yeah,
don't stop to paint and to draw and to
yeah,
doodle, because in France you start to encourage kids to doodle just in order to write.
yeah,
But as soon as you can do that perfectly, or that or round things, okay, stop doodling.
yeah.
And I say no, you have to
So
keep
they
doing.
centralize in the language.
Keep doing. One thing I really want to finish this talk to is to thank you again for being here, and we are really happy and really proud to start the Street Art Festival with
With
a
me.
woman artist.
Thank
So
you so
thank you
much
for
for
being here.
inviting me. I'm really happy to be here with you and to meet all the team. And I think that's a great festival, and you're doing it so well.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you
thank
for
you
being
too.
here. Yoo-hoo.